see the beauty we were denied. The terror turned her back on us. The gods tore our world apart. They deserve their fate. We treated the world no better. Death is our legacy. Die! The world called to Otis. This is his answer. The void.
Alright guys, so this is the Chaos Bolt Lich. Overall, quite a solid build. Has like very tanky build, this one. It's not the highest damage. It's like good damage, but not crazy. You know, good enough for Uber and 1k corruption and stuff. But very tanky for sure. So we have 8k HP right now. And of course we're using the 50% node, so the low life node. So we're like 4k or so actual HP, and then a bunch of ward on top of that, enter threshold. You have good armor, so it's like 6k in Reaper. Of course you want to be in Reaper as always on a Lich. And so this is a bleed build with the new gloves. These seem to be bugged at the moment though, so it's like, I mean, the conversion works, but like the explosion seems to be happening on your character. Hopefully they fix it, so the clear is gonna be better with that also. Other than that, just like you stack poison chance and any kind of chance you can get, basically, because everything's gonna be bleed. So like this poison chance stuff here is gonna be bleed. You get as much HP as possible with this because of the Chaos Bolt node here. So this is more damage over time based on missing HP, and of course we are low life always with the node here, and so 50% of the HP is gonna be missing. So at the moment we're missing like 4000 HP or so. So this is like like 200% more damage basically. So the very good node. So we're scaling HP and damage at the same time. So that's nice. And it's a pretty high mana cost skill, so you kind of need to take this minus mana cost node here. So you will consume your HP when you use the skill, but it's of course current HP, so you can't like die to this. It's not damage, but you can't die to it. But basically in the end game it doesn't matter at all because you leech so much that it doesn't make any difference basically. But it's kind of like a must to take at least 2 points. I do go 3 points because it's just nicer to play maps and stuff like that. Of course you gain mana back with this node here, so you want to be cursing the enemies with the Mark for Death here. So if you are out of Reaper, you won't really have a curse except with the Transplant Bone Curse, and if you want you can take this also. But I mean, basically always you are in Reaper if you are playing like actively, and especially with the Aura of Decay healing you with this node here as well. But yeah, like this other stuff here, so you want to scale extra proc for basically more hits, so more bleeds. Also get like on the helmet, get the affix for the chance to cast extra proc. And other than that, this node is pretty like nice for single targets, especially like smaller targets like the dummy, like this type of size. Aberrot is pretty big, so it doesn't make that much difference for it, but basically it like reduces the area of the targeting, so you're gonna be getting more hits on a small target. So that's quite nice for that. You can also, if you don't care about this, you can go for the just more damage, but this is pretty small. It's just 8% because the hit damage is useless. And yeah, other than that, just Aura of Decay, physical conversion, of course. So int gives you basically less physical resistance on enemies. So lots of damage from Aura of Decay, and then the healing is nice while you're in Reaper. Gives you physical rest with this node as well because it's converted. And Harvest, this is proc with the Chaos Bolts, so you don't. It's like automatic proc. Gives you nice buffs to damage. So actually, it's a surprising amount of like a DPS increase just from this is physical shred when you convert it to physical. So get shred here, you get the 5% increased damage taken. So basically 5% more damage for everything you do. And yeah, physical conversion gives you bleed chance for the harvest per int. So this has pretty decent bleed chance, like extra chance, and then you also get like extra physical pen with bleed on this. So this adds quite a bit of DPS for kind of like free, just automatic proc. Even has a culling here for 12% cull. And the last slot I'm using Transplant for Frenzy, Haste, Bone Armor. You also get the Bone Curse for a bit of like safety. If you're out of Reaper, you can still get your mana back with this. But this last slot is like you could spec Death Seal, of course, if you want to spec Death Seal. I'm using it unspec'd because I feel that's basically the same as specking it, and specking it doesn't really do anything. You could also, I did try Ripblood here because you can also proc Ripblood with this node, but it just does nothing for DPS. It doesn't do anything because you need to invest 2 points, so then you can't have points on the other stuff here. So you gain nothing. So transplant is quite nice, and with this transplant stuff, you don't need to go for the Nihilist. You can just go for Evolution's End, and you kind of need this for the attributes also, because if you want to go red rings on the endgame planner, getting like 180 attributes is pretty hard actually. So getting the +6 all attributes is nice. So you can kind of easier get much easier get 180 attributes. Of course, you don't need red rings; they are not required. But there's like really basically no good unique rings to use on this. You could go like double crap ring if you don't, mind losing or evade. That's also a pretty decent ring. You could go like the erased ring with HP. There's also the heirloom ring with a bunch of HP, but you get like giga long stuns on you, so I don't recommend that. It's pretty annoying. But the gear, the gloves, you need these to play the bleed version. If you don't have the gloves, there is like a starting planner on the guide, and that's like a poison setup. On the poison setup, you need to manually use Aura of Decay to get the poison overload, because this needs a damage over time skill. Like you need to cast a dot skill basically, and none of your skills are a dot skill except the aura. But on the bleed one, we don't care. We always get the bleed overload by just spamming Ripblood. Spamming Chaos Bolts. And boots, basic bleed boots, bleed duration stuff. Titan Heart for the tankiness. So these are all like endgame planner gear, what I have on this character here. And just like stacking as much HP as possible, right? So you want to get all the HP as you can. And blessings are on the guide, of course, also. So you wanna get all the bleed chance. So this is all bleed chance with the gloves converted to bleed. Very good. For passives, just basic stuff, increased damage and the HP drain stuff. Actually, you kind of get like a bit of more damage with the HP drain with this node. It's not much, but like every 7% HP drain is 1% more damage, but it's some extra, right? You do want to get these, like this node and this node quite early, right? Because this is a lot of leech and you're consuming your HP, of course, with the Chaos Bolts. So these are nice to get early. And the bleed duration stuff, of course, very good. Scaling the damage, get all the bleed chance. This is full bleed chance with the gloves. Increased damage int, the usual stuff, the low life node. And pretty much you do need to get all the int passives as well for the red rings. And they give you, of course, damage as well, so that's good. And Twisty Heart, very good on this as well, because we're actually using a elemental spell, because this is also elemental at the same time. So you get ward from your HP, basically. So you can get quite a bit of ward just with the Twisty Heart. So if you want, you can go with the Uber Relic when you get it, or you can just continue using Twisty Heart. That's completely fine as well. So at the moment, like in combat, we're having like a 4k HP pool and then about 3k ward, right? So very, very tanky setup with all the defenses this guy has.